Good morning, I'm Jenny.
And I'm Zach, also known as a bunch of poop.
Welcome to Wake Up with Jenny and Friends. Welcome, Zach. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me and guest co hosting the show this morning. I'm so happy to see you again. I'm excited to have you as a guest. Thanks so much for coming back in.
Yes, thanks for having me on. I've had fun the last couple times that we've been able to get together and do this. It's always a blast. So let's see if we can do it again.
Definitely a blast.
Yeah,
How was your weekend?
it was all right. We didn't really get into a whole lot. I've been chasing a lawnmower issue for about the past month, and finally, finally got that done after the neighbors have been tired of looking at my yard, and I've been tired of looking at it. So that was pretty much the weekend. So
Nice. Some
yeah.
yard duty, some lawn care.
Yeah, did that. It's a pretty slow weekend. This last week, I actually did just go and get vaccinated too. I got my COVID shot, so that's probably about the
You
biggest
did.
news I did.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Which one did you go with?
They offered me the Pfizer or Moderna, and I ended up going with the Pfizer. So
Okay. Okay. So, well,
yeah,
it was nice knowing you. That's great.
yeah. Uh, it was just a little sore the next day, but
That's what
my
she
cell
said.
phone coverage is really a lot better now.
Oh.
It upgraded me to 5G, and if I like pull on my pinky finger, it activates Alexa. So it works good.
So it was worth it then.
Yes. Yes.
Are you opting out of the sidewalk from Alexa?
I actually just did last night.
Mm,
I heard about it and I thought to myself, like, I'm going to get rid of this. It kind of sounds a little too sketchy right now for me. Wasn't really sure what to make of it. And as
yeah,
I was scrolling through
invasive.
Facebook last night, I saw another article on it. And I was like, finally actually sat down and read the whole thing. And I'm not IT savvy enough to know what people can and can't get into. And, basically my understanding of it was it would kind of mesh everyone's internet together if they, if, say my neighbors had sidewalk enabled on theirs too, which we
Yep.
have good neighbors, but I don't know. It's still just not for me right now. So I turned it off for the time being.
Yeah, it's a bit dodgy, a little bit sketchy. It feels really
Yeah.
invasive to me, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. And I mean, the article that I read, of course, I mean, you have to take everything with a grain of salt, but
Mm.
they had an IT guy on there who wrote the article up, and it basically says like your data could like bounce through their stuff, theirs could bounce through yours, and I mean, I don't know what kind of stuff they're looking at. I don't need that stuff passing through my router.
Well, exactly. I mean, you don't want to be blamed for someone else's porn addiction.
Right, right. I think that's exactly what we were getting at. So I was just kind of beating around the bush a little bit about it. You were pretty straightforward. So yeah,
Beating around the bush, but bum.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think for me it's just I don't have any of those devices, so that's one thing that's kind of good, but for me it's just so like so they're doing this across my understanding is that law enforcement actually has an agreement too with Amazon
Hmm.
um, to gain access to all of your information without a warrant. So they can just go. So if they're suspecting something going on in someone's home or something like that, and they want all the data on all your phone calls and all your text messages and all your social media and all your information and what you've been doing, and they want to listen in on your home through your device, they can
Hmm.
activate your device and listen in to everything that's going on in your home, and they can go to Amazon and get all the information from all of your devices without a warrant. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
just look at my TikTok, it's all there.
right. Yeah. I mean, really, the most that anyone's going to get out of there is a lot more unheard farts and dumps, maybe some of the more mediocre ones. Occasionally, my wife yelling at me, dogs barking. Nothing
Dogs
really
bark.
sketchy, just probably be a lot of disappointment.
Has the dog ever passed out from a fart in your house?
No, but I can tell you that they really make me want to pass out sometimes. We've got
No way.
three big dogs, and our oldest one's a German Shepherd. He's about 12 years old, and
Oh my
he's getting to
gosh.
the point where they just come out on his own, and it's just I can't even describe. There's not words to describe. It's just death coming out of him at this point.
So you have competition.
Yes, I don't even know if I'd call it competition because he's got me beat.
He's got you
So
beat.
yeah.
That's so funny. I have 2 dogs as well, and my youngest, Maggie, she's tiny, tiny. She's like this big. She's just a little thing, but
Mhm.
I swear to God, she poops like a grown trucker. I don't I don't know what comes out. I can't explain what comes out of her little tiny body, and when she farts, she's always, like, so surprised that it happens, like,
Yes.
it's like a and she's like, "Oh, oh,
Yeah.
was that me?"
I think that's a thing with like all dogs because ours do that too. They'll cut one and then they instantly rip their head completely backwards looking at you. You're like, we know that was you, man.
Exactly. We're trying to blame it on them, they're trying to blame it on us. It's just a
Right.
vicious cycle.
Yeah. It really is sometimes.
What are you drinking this morning, my friend?
Well, I
Oh.
have a little coffee with a little extra in it this morning. So start the
Oh!
day up start the day up right.
And, is there, would there be any Metamucil perchance in that? Little
That is not what the extra is in this one.
No.
No fiber, no laxatives, all natural.
Oh gosh, I'm so jelly that you don't ever have a problem.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, some people would say that this is a problem, but
You're zen. You're one with your inner self, and you can let things go.
yes, I can.
That's fabulous. When I get stressed, I get really constipated, and oh my gosh, it is not a good scene. It is not a
No,
good scene. I don't know if you get hemorrhoids, but hashtag girls get hemorrhoids too. And I mean, I've named mine George just for, familiarity's sake, but
oh, comes back quite a bit then.
he's he's been
Okay,
frequent visitor in the last 2 months.
okay. I really can't relate to the constipation thing because it just doesn't happen. But
Yeah.
the hemorrhoid thing, yeah, I've been there. That happened to us last. I say us, like me and the hemorrhoid are a pair, but no,
Well,
I did have a pretty severe case last year, and it was like to the point where you couldn't even sit down; it just hurt.
no
So
way. Oh
yeah,
gosh. What was your remedy? Just lie down? Just like
a
pillows?
lot of like hemorrhoid cream and and elevating yourself all the time. So
I have to ask the question that's on everyone's mind. Have you gotten your golden toilet yet?
I have not.
Oh,
I would love to get
bummer.
that. Maybe we need to crowdsource that a little bit. A GoFundMe page, or
Mhm.
anyone on TikTok if they want to Venmo me some money to help make that happen. I would love to put that in the house and show everyone the whole finished piece.
Speaking of Venmo, you do custom videos for people. If they
Hmm.
Venmo you, you do, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, I've had just I think the most recent one that I did was one for Mother's Day this year. A guy reached out to me and didn't really like give me a whole lot of details like on his family story or whatever. But when I kind of clicked through his profile picture and then his wife's profile picture, it looked like they were a fairly young couple, and it was their first year of being parents. So in the profile picture, like they're there together, all happy and holding a little baby, and he wanted to give her something really special for Mother's Day, so he requested a video.
How sweet.
Yes. So I, I spent some time on that one, incorporated a couple days worth of stuff into that for him, and tried to make it as best as I could. So I
Uh,
mean, moms are special people. So
you know what they say, couples that poop together stay together.
that's right.
I love it. Thank you very much. I got the mask.
I'm glad it finally came in.
Yes, I was so when I saw that package, I was like, "Oh, this could be the best day of my life."
I kind of thought about this for a while, and I was wondering, as it had to go through customs and everything,
Mhm.
you wonder if anyone there, like in security or customs, whatnot, did they open that and look inside and see what was in there? I mean, for one, they got to see this little mask, that's signed and I believe it had like my TikTok name on it. So you're wondering, okay, did they check this out? Like, hey, I wonder who this guy is. And then the little mini Polaroid that was a toilet full of diarrhea.
Yes.
It's like, did they open this up and then like really quick close it, or did they open it up and then everyone that they knew get to see it too?
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Hilarious. I loved it. Thank you so much. It was a great, 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 great. The best thing
you're
that ever
welcome.
came to my house.
You're welcome. It'll make a great conversation piece, I'm sure.
Oh
When the
yeah.
world gets back to normal and you have people over and say, hey, check this out.
It's on the mantle. It's on the
All
mantle.
right.
We have a fantastic show today. And if you're listening to the show or you're watching this show right now and you haven't guessed, um, it's going to be poop humor because farts and poop are funny and toilet humor is great.
Yes.
And this is what we do.
Hmm. Yes, this has pretty much become my life. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You've got how many followers do you have on TikTok now?
Um, I think a little over like 90,000 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's not been too long because I remember when I first discovered you when Trey sent me one of your videos, you were at
Hmm.
like 19,000 or 30,000
Hmm.
and then you just like skyrocketed.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how some of that stuff works. Like you'll, you know, have a video that does really good, goes viral, and the next thing you know, you have to like turn your phone off at night because people are on it, all times of the night, and
Yeah.
they get comments or likes or new followers, and every time your phone's buzz, buzz, buzz. But it's cool. I mean, sometimes it's the stuff that you're like, well, this is going to be a dud, and then next thing you know, it's like
Mhm.
1 million views. You're like, oh, okay.
A million
So
views.
yeah.
That's fantastic. That's so great. I mean, I like to stay humble and like really recluse. So I manage like around 7,000 followers because I don't want to get too big. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to like get, popular or anything like that. Like, so I like to like keep a low profile.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, it comes and goes. I mean, sometimes you'll look at it, and it'll go from whatever, like say 70.5, and then you'll look back a few days later, it's just like 70.2. So, I mean, it always happens where people will follow for a while, then people drop off, they find new stuff. There's girls twerking in leggings that they're like, yeah, this guy that's pooping's cool, but her butt
Yeah.
does something completely different. So,
Exactly. Well, let's get right into the show, shall we?
okay, let's do it.
Excellent. Um, 5 code words for having to take a poop
Okay.
because everyone's got them. Everyone has them.
Hmm. Are you gonna? Do you have yours first, or do you want me to
I
go first?
I have mine. Would you like to go first?
Sure,
Okay.
sure. So, um, the first one I'm gonna go with
Uh-huh.
is we like to say, "I'm dizzy" or "I'm getting dizzy," and I know it sounds kind of weird, but we had a friend years ago that we went to. We were like on a double date or something, and we were out to eat at this Mexican restaurant, and she had eaten like a bean and cheese burrito,
Of course
and the
you
whole time, yeah,
did.
right before we're about to go sit, in the movies,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
let's have something that's going to give us the
Genius
runs.
move. Yeah.
Yeah. So she eats that, and then like the whole time we're in the movie theater, she's like, I don't feel well, and we're like, go take a dump. She's like, no, it's not that. I'm just dizzy. She's sitting there holding her stomach. Okay. So I'm dizzy is probably one of the top five in our house.
I'm
uh,
busy.
yeah. A close second for me is clipping my toenails. And
Clipping my toenails.
yeah, there's something that's like happened over like all these years of being married where we'll have dinner and be ready to be done for the night, and me and my wife will go upstairs to get our showers, and it's like there's something in my bowels that when she's taking a shower that's like, you need to go, and you need to go right now. So as she's in there, you know with her stuff trying to get her hair all done and
Yeah.
washed, I'm just sitting right next to her, just exploding, and she'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, clipping my toenails.
I love it. I'm still trying to get over that I'm dizzy.
Yeah, it's it's very common, and we can't say I'm dizzy anymore without associating it with diarrhea. So
Have
yeah.
you have you ever needed to poop so bad that it actually made you dizzy? Because I've been there.
Uh, I don't know if I've been had to poop that bad that it's made me dizzy. I mean, I've had to poop so bad that I literally pooped my pants and had a whole trash bag in my butt. But
Oh my gosh. Oh, these are the days of our lives.
yes, yes.
Number 3?
So so number three is going to be probably a staple for a lot of people. Dropping a deuce.
Yeah,
That
classic.
that that one. I mean, you can't hear that without knowing what's going on.
Deuces are
So
wild.
deuces are wild. Sometimes they're very wild. Um, Another one would be baking pies.
Baking pies.
Yes.
Huh.
So we saw, I think I saw this on Instagram. This lady had remodeled her bathroom, and she has this sign that says "Fresh baked pies made daily" that she hung up over the toilet. And I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." And my wife, like, she has amazing calligraphy and handwriting, so she made a sign like that in our house,
Oh,
and we put it
nice.
in the bathroom too. So baking pies is another good one for us. So,
I love it. I love it.
and then I think the last one is pretty self-explanatory, and that is getting rid of dinner.
Getting rid of dinner. Oh my god. My brother used to say, "Well, I just rented that meal."
I've never heard that one, but that is good. That is really good.
Oh my god.
I have this weird thing with it's I guess it's with a lot of foods, but like in particular, is like leafy vegetables and like cilantro or well tonight we had tacos and
Yeah.
I had lettuce on it. Well, I haven't had lettuce like all week, but
Mm.
I mean, I'll go
Oh,
to
ruh-roh.
okay.
There we go.
So the lettuce I just can't really stomach, and
Yeah.
it'll come out like within minutes of me actually eating something. And I mean,
No
I've
way.
kind of been able to test that in a way where, like on a day like today, I haven't had lettuce or anything else like all week, but here within the next hour, I'm going to be up there and there's going to be lettuce in
Okay, so
there.
we're on a
So
time crunch.
not necessarily, no, not necessarily.
Oh my gosh. Well, here are my 5. First one, gotta check out the water closet.
That's a good one.
My nana used to always call the bathroom the water closet.
Yeah,
So
that is what it is.
I think older generation British folks often refer
Mm-hmm.
to it as the water closet,
Mm-hmm.
which is odd to me. How you'd have water in a closet, but anyway, I digress. um, drop a butt brownie.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a good one. Plant a python.
Oh my god.
I've literally pooped before and gone, oh my god, that's a python.
Now, I really do have a friend that he has, I don't know what, where his won't go down. They get so big. And he would take a plunger when he was done and try to break it up with the plunger just so it would go down.
Oh my,
Now they have, I don't know if you've ever read the story about a poop knife, which Amazon sells now too, but there was a story that I'd read about like what was the strangest thing your family had that you didn't know was strange until you were grown up, and this story about a poop knife where people would keep knives or spatulas next to the toilet just so they could break them
oh
up.
my god, a poop knife?
So yeah,
Oh
so the python thing is pretty on par to having something like that.
I legit sent Trey a pic of my poop once, and yeah. Just because I was just like, this is amazing. Somebody has to see this.
That's great. I wish my wife had a little bit more excitement in it when I wanted to send her something like that. I usually don't get much of a response out of her. Occasionally, you're gross or something. But I'm like,
Listen,
how
I
can you
have
not look
no
at this
regrets.
this monster? Yeah, like how can you not look at this thing and be like, my God, this is a work of art.
It's a work of art. I made that inside and it came out of me.
Yeah, exactly.
Zero regrets.
Yes.
Fourth on my list is birth an elephant.
Oh wow, that's even a little bit better than the Python.
I don't know how many times I've turned around after, particularly after a cleanse, and gone, texted a number of people, I just shit an elephant. I
That's
mean,
good.
no other way to explain it.
No, it's
No, no.
it's self-explanatory and it's pretty to the point on that one, isn't it?
Last but not least, incognito, plop plop fizz fizz.
Oh, what a relief it is. Yeah.
Classic. Everybody has a
Yeah.
code word. Everybody has a code word. But what are your three best pit stops to poop? That's what I want to know.
So I used to be really partial to Walmart bathrooms, and I
Mm.
don't know why, because they're generally not in the best of shape, or at least they didn't used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like in men's restrooms, there's always guys are always weird about using urinals. And like you'll see a guy standing up from the way their feet are facing, and they're at a stall, peeing in
Mm-hmm.
the stall.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not lifting the lid. They're just peeing everywhere all over the lid. It's like use the urinal, man. But Walmart
Gross.
used to have like really good big stalls that you could really kind of sprawl out in, which was great.
Take your pants off. Stay a
Yeah.
while.
The um, yes, I would say also, other than a Walmart, which we kind of traded that one for Target now. I haven't been to
Mm.
Walmart in a long time, but Target's got great ones too. Um, but a lot of times, just rest areas that you'll pass, like going from state to state. West Virginia had a huge one in there, and
Take
that
West
place
what
was
she said.
fantastic. That's right. So that was a good one. And then, not really a pit stop in the normal sense, but probably actually my favorite place to do it would just be outside in general. So, like in
Outside, yeah.
my last job that I worked at before here, like I did a lot of uh, outdoor maintenance,
Mhm.
like along the railroad tracks and stuff like that. There's nowhere to go. So
Yeah.
you would just kind of take your truck door and open it up and then just blast it out towards the weeds. And, and that's pretty much like the most natural, most freeing feeling. It's just going to the bathroom outside.
Now,
So
do you
that,
take wipes with you?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. You don't just shit and get up.
No,
Okay.
no. Like, well, I'm done. There's,
Well, that was unexpected.
yeah. You always have to be prepared for something like that because it can happen. So no, I really did. I used to keep wipes in my work truck. So when that happened, you just I didn't generally take the wipes with me, but I just so if you're walking outside and you're seeing stuff like the blue paper towel that they use in like car shops or just paper towel and rags in general, I'm telling you, don't go there. Don't pick that up. There's nothing good underneath that.
Now,
It's
was
filled
that
with it is filled with something that you don't need to be touching. Poop, boogers. I mean, it could be anything. So maybe somebody was out and outside just enjoying themselves. So you don't really know what's in there. So don't ever touch
Oh,
an
don't
outdoor
touch the
random.
sticky blue
Yeah,
towels.
that's right. Stay clear.
Oh my god. Now, was that a double-edged sword for you? Because if you were outside doing maintenance
Mm.
and then you were also pooping outside, was it like you clean up, you poop, and then you have to clean up your poop? Was it like were you really screwing yourself over by doing that?
Well, the good thing is I didn't really ever have to clean up that stuff afterwards. So I mean, I just try to find the most secluded of where I was at out there, uh, do it and
Mhm.
go. I actually have a really to send to you. When we were working in Virginia a few years ago, I happened to get just close enough to a really nice pine tree, and it covered it in lava. And it was when like the iPhones first came out with like portrait mode. So I took it in portrait mode. I mean, it's stunning. The picture is absolutely
Stunning.
stunning. So you may be one of the few people that would look at it and be like, "Wow, this
Wow.
is fantastic." Most people I show it to, with the exception of a few, are like, "That's disgusting." But I have had a few people are like, "Dude, that's awesome."
Poop appreciation.
Yeah, it was art.
I've seen this thing where you can hook up a toilet seat to the back of your
Oh, like
truck,
yeah, like yeah, the
the
hitch of your truck.
the hitch. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that'd be great for camping.
It would be. I mean, it would be great for a lot of different situations. But yeah, absolutely.
A random Thursday at 2 o'clock.
You never know.
You never know.
Tailgating. Everybody's out in the parking lot. You got the charcoal grill going next to you.
Be back in a jiffy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I have to agree with you. Number one on my list was woods for sure, definitely
Mhm.
in the woods. Particularly oh my gosh. Well, so I've been to Africa 3 times. So I mean, if you're out and about, things are far away in Africa. There's no, McDonald's that you can run into and make a pit stop. So, I mean, you're looking for some fairly mosquito free, clear woods.
Sure.
Um, and sometimes you just gotta. I mean, I've literally just had to pee in the street before, so sometimes you gotta go in the street. But yeah, outside in the woods, number one. Fairly secluded, not too embarrassing. But um, I always think number two on my list. I love this one, and I don't know if it's just because I'm a bit cheeky, out of spite, but but I love to go in any high end restaurant that has a sign washroom for customers only.
Yes, absolutely.
For me, it's just like a oh yeah, all right.
I was at a gas station that had a Subway in it,
Mhm.
and somebody had a sign up there. Well, I guess Subway did it. Said, "Please," or "Employees must wash hands before returning to service." And somebody, I don't know if it was an employee or just someone else that was in there, but someone had like marked on it and said, "No, you're getting a dirty meatball sandwich."
Oh no. Oh no. Not the dirty meatballs.
Yeah,
That's why they
it's
cover
pretty
them.
disgusting. Yeah,
It is gross.
absolutely.
Ugh, gross. Yeah, I just love to like defy the rules, I think.
Hmm. Don't
Number
flush when you get up.
yeah. Do you know what? People always complain about how dirty the men's bathrooms are, but I have
Hmm.
to tell you, I have been in places where the women's washrooms are grotesque. Like
Hmm.
you go in to use the washroom and there's pee all over the seat. Like I don't get like like, what are you doing going like this when you're like peeing? Like I don't
Yeah,
get that. What are you doing?
yeah,
Like it's not a fucking conga line in there. Like you just
right.
squat and you like and why is there like an inability to wipe up your own pee?
Yeah,
Like
that's crazy. I would have never really suspected something like that because it seems to me like you would just connect with the toilet, like butt, toilet, sit, and there it is. But I don't know. I mean, the guys things are the same way. I guess with the guys' bathroom, you've got a half inch of sausage that you're trying to hold around and hit a hole for some people. So maybe it's a little bit harder to aim, but I don't know. I
I've
have been
always
into a women's restroom one time. I don't remember the situation. I think I might have been working at Kroger, We had to clean the restrooms,
Mhm.
and I was grossed out by the tampon box that they had in there. You know, like
Oh
I'm
god.
assuming that that's like a thing everywhere. I don't really know, but just next to the toilet paper, there's like a little
Yep.
metal box. And I was like, "What's this?" Because the guys doesn't have that, and you open it up, and there's
Mm.
these little, you know,
Mhm.
blood covered drowned rats in there. It's like,
Oh my god. A bit.
yeah,
Oh my god. I don't know who, puts those in there without, like, wrapping them in
psychopaths, but they
yeah,
do it.
yeah, yeah, but, I've seen that and it's pretty dang gross, but this is I've always wondered you brought up the sausage point, but I've always wondered this, when guys sit down to use the toilet, does the sausage go in the toilet or does it, like, hang out the bowl? Does it rest on the does it rest on the seat or does it go inside?
Well, there's probably a lot of different factors in there, but I would say that um, a lot of the toilets that I've run into like over the years have been different because some of them are like those elongated bowls, and
Yeah,
those ones are way better because there's like way more space between
yeah.
you and the toilet. Because that's like for a guy, that's like the biggest thing that you don't ever want to touch. Like it just seems completely filthy. Like anytime you sit down
Mhm.
and it accidentally touches, you're like, well, that's it. Now I've got AIDS. Now I've got herpes. I have to
Oh
go
my god.
home and explain to my wife that I'm not having an affair. I actually got it from a men's toilet seat. Like how believable does that sound? So
Oh my gosh.
that the toilets are different. I can tell you that there was one instance we were going to or coming back from Kentucky,
Let me
and
just
I
say, I'm
had
pretty sure you can't get AIDS from a toilet seat, but let me just
sure,
let me just
but
let me just put that little tidbit in there just because my budgets for the show's already gone ass out the window.
gone. Okay, yeah. So
Insurance? Nope, not for you.
yeah, well, I mean, here you are. You're educating the uneducated on. So I learned something new today.
Continue. Sorry. Excuse me for
So,
interrupting you.
no, that's fine. So we were at a rest area in Kentucky, and I had in my back pocket I had my iPhone, and I had all these recorded farts that I had turned into like a long compilation.
Nice,
So as we were walking by all these
as you
people to go
do.
into the rest area, exactly, um, I put it in my back pocket, turned it on full blast, and it's like playing fart sounds as I'm like walking all the way in. And I'm with my wife and the girls. The girls are embarrassed. Dad, stop! Dad, stop! So like I sit down because I have to go take a dump. So I'm in the bathroom, and there's people in the stalls all around me. So I go sit down to take a dump, and I just start playing more of these recorded fart and poop sounds. And I finally start going, and I'm laughing so hard I'm really not paying any attention to anything. And as I'm doing my thing, I'm not realizing that I'm peeing so hard that the pee is coming up over the toilet seat and getting all over my damn pants. So I
Oh,
so like
no.
we've been on the road for a couple hours, and I just completely drained everything right into the back of my pants. As I'm trying to be funny and everything here, I make an asshole out of myself in the process.
Dick move. Dick move.
Yeah, yeah, it was terrible. Very embarrassing, and we still have like 4 hours of a car ride where I had to take those pants off and just drive home in a pair of boxers that weren't pisted.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, last on my list is, and I'm sure people who have in-laws who don't like them can relate to this. In-laws house for, a pit stop for a poop and run.
Hmm.
Just you come in, you drive by, gotta use the bathroom, drop a deuce, get out
Get
ski.
out. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
My in-laws, my mother-in-law in particular, she rather enjoys pooping at our house. So it's quite the opposite. Instead of us going to poop there, she comes over quite a bit and helps with our girls to get them ready in the morning, like when we have to work and whatnot.
Mhm.
And yeah, so there'll be a lot of times where you come home from work and there's my mother-in-law coming out of the toilet with a huge green cloud of fumes following right behind her.
Well, you guys have a bidet, right? So she probably loves the bidet.
I don't know that she uses it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
the girls say that they like it. I know I love it. I don't think I
Yeah.
could ever not own one. My wife said that she doesn't like it because she said she feels like it just shoots right through her.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I guess yeah, I don't know so I've never tried um I've done many a home colonic before, and I
Mhm.
highly recommend them for a lot of my patients in the clinic. But I've never tried a bidet. I can't wrap my brain around toilet water going up my and I would be afraid it would go up my vajayjay. Like, is it where's the I don't know the distance the yeah.
Well, most of them now actually have like, so the dial turns two ways.
Uh-huh.
So if you turn it, I think on ours it's like clockwise, will go for your butt, and you can turn it counterclockwise, and it'll go for your front parts, male or female. So I don't generally do the front part.
You
I mean,
don't
I
do the
have
ball
before,
wash?
just I have before just to see what it feels like, but it just it's not quite as soothing as you'd think. It just drips off of you.
Oh.
But for the rear, I mean, that thing's fantastic. There's no other way to do it.
Nice. Nice. I love it. Um, Speaking of styles, 5 pooping styles.
Okay.
Yeah, what are your favorite pooping styles?
Um. So
Or your most common ones?
my, I guess this, I made a list of some of them here, and I guess it'd be a mix between a little bit of both. I mean, obviously, just standard is going to be on there for like 99% of them. Where you're just going in because sometimes, you don't have time to get intricate with it, or you really
Yeah.
got to go. So you're just going to sit down and do your thing. Um, a few years ago, my wife actually got me a squatty potty, which
Oh,
is
squatty
like the
potty.
thing that elevates your feet.
Yeah.
And those things are fantastic. Like, they really make a pretty big difference in how much you get out and like the comfort of it, because you don't really strain. It like lines up everything right there.
Yeah.
So the elevated feet definitely is a good one. Um, I've also got outdoor squatting on my list. So because I did a lot of that. Um, Leaning against a tree, I've had to do that several times too. When
Leaning
you're out in the
against a
woods.
tree.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the same concept of like squatting, but like you don't have the back of a toilet to sit on, like you
Right.
would at home. So you go up to a tree and just kind of slide down on it,
Okay,
and
so
then you
like
got
a
to,
soccer squat.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
like
So
the
you got a
quads.
nice little back rest. Yeah.
Nice.
And then the last one is in the water.
In the water? What? Really?
Yeah. I I could probably go into detail about all the bodies of water that I have, but
So this was a question that we tried to figure out at one point, is how fast and how far does your poop travel when it's in the water?
that is a good question. But I can tell you that, if hypothetically, if you were at, say somewhere like Myrtle Beach, on a
Mm,
hot summer day and the
yeah.
tide was really pulling, it could really go pretty quick and it'd be gone before you realized it.
Just as an example. Yeah.
Sure.
Ju-
Yeah. And maybe there's someone like, 30 feet down from you that's on a surfboard, and maybe they're running it over right now. Who knows?
And the ocean is a torrid place.
Sure. I mean, it's a world of life and food and poop for fish. So
Do the fish eat it? Do you think they eat it? Do you think it's a delicatessen for the fish, like shrimp and,
like
and
they're,
lobster are delicatessens to us?
that's a good question. It could be like, for us and them, how, people maybe in Europe would be like hunting truffles, or in the States, looking for mushrooms. So it's like certain times of the year. So maybe like the sharks and octopus are like, as people return to the beaches in the summertime, it's like, oh, this is the time of year to come out here and get the good stuff. They got the brownies out here.
The ocean brownies.
Yeah. They have like their own Facebook groups of, hot spots to go to find the best stuff.
The sea pucks of Facebook.
Yeah.
Anything else on your list?
That was all five of mine.
That was all five. Okay, mine are a little bit. I've kind of named them, but the blast master is when you just
Okay.
when you have to fart so bad and the fart just pushes out the poop.
Mm, mm.
Like those ones are like those ones are like great because you don't even have to push or strain or anything. You just sit down and it's like
Like turbocharged.
turbocharged. The classic push, squeeze, and slice.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm never gonna get married. Okay. Who's gonna want me? The Oklahoma slider. The-
Please describe this one.
when you sit down and so you have to poop, okay, and you build up the momentum. So you as soon when you like you have to poop, you feel that little like twingy kind of like ooh, I might have to poop in
Hmm.
like a few minutes.
Hmm.
Okay, if you just hold it for a few more minutes, let everything come right down, and then you sit then you sit on the toilet and it just slides right out.
And this one's called the Oklahoma Slider.
Oklahoma slider.
Okay. That's a good name.
um, for a gal who gets constipated, this next one, if anyone gets constipated, they relate to this one. The pellet poop.
Hmm.
It's like rabbit poop. You just like
Hmm.
like it's not one good solid poop, and it's so disappointing. It's so
Yeah.
you just don't feel like I don't feel like an accomplished woman at that point. I feel like I have so much more I need to do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel disappointed in myself, you know?
Like, oh,
Myself.
I could do better than this.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one wasn't ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I have not hydrated today. Clearly,
Yeah.
drank a lot of water.
Hmm.
Last but not least, oh man, fuck, the river of shit.
Ooh, I think I know what that one is.
Oh
Yeah.
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 It's when you've taken one too many detox supplements and you've had some spicy food and
Hmm.
it's like liquid lava draining out
Hmm.
your asshole.
Hmm. That one I'm very familiar with, actually. That's probably like number one, two, and three of like the top three most taken dumps by me. Yeah.
Love it. Oh, let me take a little sip here. Before we move on to our 3-question draw. I have 3 questions for you, sir, and you have 3 questions for me. I'll
Okay.
go first. My first question for you: if you could have any career in the world, what would it be?
Something in, like comedy films or something like that. Yeah. I'd love to do something like that for sure.
Have you ever ventured out to do like any commercial work or like any?
No, not on my own. I mean, the MTV thing,
Mm,
with ridiculousness picked up a video. I mean, I guess that's about as far as it's went so far. So I'd be open to do some other stuff, but right now the opportunity hasn't knocked at me yet. So we'll see.
you need to get an agent. We need to get this man an agent.
Yeah.
Did the MTV thing did it air yet?
So it did, and
Okay.
my understanding of it was I was going to get a heads up because I had
Mm,
emailed like a week or two prior,
yeah.
hey, when is this coming out? Because I actually wanted to, you know, tell some friends or
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
like
Share
watch
it.
it live or something.
Mm.
I ended up getting a notification on Facebook. One of my friends had tagged me on there. He's like, "Oh, I'm watching Ridiculousness, and this is a pretty interesting episode." And he had taken a picture of it, and I was like,
Mm.
"Man, I had no idea." But it's on. It was season 21. I think it's like episode 7 or 8. I'll have to look back and see, but it was cool. I mean, it's neat. I don't know how else to describe it because, I mean, I would say that there's not a lot of people that get on there, but I mean, if it's got 21 seasons, then obviously there are a lot of people that have been on there. But
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, how many people do you know that are like, oh yeah, I've been on MTV before? So I thought it was cool.
Well, you have to share it with me. Send me a link and then we'll watch it
Okay,
and we'll give it some views. That's hilarious. I love that. Did you know, by the way, just a little aside, um, if you hold in your farts, they'll eventually come back up and you burp them out. Did you know that?
is that true?
It is true, sir.
I did not know that.
Mhm.
Um, I've smelled some of my farts and other people's farts, and I don't want that going out of my mouth.
So when you were like 9, and I'm speaking for me, when I was like 9 and I would like call people fart breath, I was probably correct in a few instances.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, who's gonna waste a fart just to burp it back out? So I mean, I would just let it go, just like that. Did that pick up on the microphone or anything? Could
I
you
don't
hear
know if there's a way to enhance it. You bet I will.
it?
I guess it depends on where you are. Like if you're at church or you're in a wedding or something, or if you're like, at oh God, a funeral. Can you imagine? Can you, can you imagine you fart at a funeral and you turn to your friend and go, "Man, what died?"
That would be hilarious and terrible at the same time. Or you're walking through the viewing line and you crop dust everyone. You're like, "Phew, she stinks."
Crop dust. Oh my God. Oh God. Okay. Question number 2. Number 2. If you could win any award in the world, what would you want to win?
Oh gosh, to be honest with you, I've never even thought about something like that.
Mm,
What award I would want to win?
yeah.
Well, I don't make country music, so probably not like a CMT Country Music Award. Um, I would say if I had to just like randomly pick one thing, maybe not necessarily like an award, but like a WWF championship belt for like wrestling somebody and defeating them. Like that
Yes.
would be cool.
Oh my gosh. What would your wrestler name be?
Uh, man, that's an even better question to ask on something like that. I mean, it's got to be something like strong, but so
Welcome
I
to
mean,
the
you could,
ring.
yeah, I don't know, maybe Stingray, you know,
Stingray. Stingray.
just something out there like that. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Last but not least, if you were a top government spy, what is the one secret you would want to know about?
Well, I think I would normally say aliens, and maybe it
Uh-huh.
still would be,
Uh-huh.
but like I kind of feel like that stuff isn't really even like the right questions to even ask anymore. I feel like the majority of people have just come to assume that it's real, and I mean, I think so. You know, like I think there's alien life and stuff like that. So I guess the top government secret I would probably want to know is who actually killed Kennedy.
Oh, wow. Yes. My gosh, that's a good one. I wasn't expecting that. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Mm.
we saw this TV show, and like for the life of me, like the name escapes me, but dude like went back in time, and it was like around the JFK assassination, and he was like there to prevent it and change the course of history. And I don't know, it was pretty neat,
Wow.
but
So that's fascinating to me. Can you imagine if that actually somebody did that and stopped it, how different our world would be right
I
now?
would assume it'd be massively different. Yeah,
Craziness. I don't know if you ever read A Brief History of Time by
I have not.
Stephen Hawking? It's filled with that kind of that thought process, that theory that everything that happens changes the trajectory of the next thing that happens in our world.
Mm-hmm.
So this theory of like that butterfly effect and all that stuff, that's all a part of
Mm-hmm.
it. But that's fascinating to me. I would be so like I would love to be in the background of that scene and see how much things would change or be different. Or maybe they would be very similar, you know? Maybe things just would seem to fall into place as they are now. But that's so fascinating to me, to change the fabric of history.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, a lot of the stuff that happens, I mean, it just seems like it could be different, you know, and sometimes stuff would be worse or could be better. But it's just weird how, you know, we're on whatever path we're on and continue to go down that path when something 50 years ago, you know,
Mm.
something as small as a person living or dying could have completely changed all that.
Craziness. Craziness. Well, I am pumped and ready for your three questions, sir.
Okay. So
Mhm.
I had three, but I think I'm going to ask you four. And
Mhm.
one's just like a bonus question. And I
Sure.
think I'm going to ask that one first because I don't have that one written down.
Okay, sure.
So my wife has told me in the past that uh, women in restrooms don't generally like to poop when other women are in restrooms. And if they do, they will take like the toilet paper and rattle it so it makes noise. Uh, or a lot of times, women will go to the restroom and just pull their butt apart and sit down and flush the toilet and fart, so that way they can fart and they're not farting around someone at work. So, is that accurate? Is that what people really do?
So I would have to agree that women don't like to poop when there's someone else in the bathroom if you're in a public area, for sure. And that was always drive me nuts when I used to work in an office, because you'd wait till like the coast was clear and then you'd go in
Mm-hmm.
the bathroom, and then you'd pick your stall respectively, and then you'd sit down and you'd just get ready to release, and some Karen would walk in, and you'd hear the tiptoes of the high heels, and you're like, oh, squeeze it back up, hold on to it, don't let it
Yeah, yeah,
go. And you have to sit there and wait, and it's so nerve-wracking because you had such good momentum when you first sat down, you were
mm-hmm.
ready to let it all go, and then you had to like cut it off. And then
Yeah. Now you've ruined it.
yeah, and you just don't get the same like push factor when you go to like restart the whole scene again. So you sit
Yeah.
there. So I would sit there and wait till that person was gone, and then as soon as the door closed, I was like, like, it's like, for the love of God. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and you pray it's like, you pray it's a woman who's just like got to do a quick pee and then wash your hands and leave. But sometimes, every so often, you get the girl who's like wants to touch up her makeup and brush her teeth.
Yeah.
You're like, this is not a hotel. Get the F
Mm-hmm.
out. I got to shit.
Yeah.
Like,
They're like, hey, it's about to stink in here. You need to leave.
like, oh my gosh. Or I sometimes you put like toilet paper down first in the bowl
Mm-hmm.
so you don't hear the
It's called pontooning. There was a guy I used to work with that always called it pontooning. And I've heard from people that worked in jails before that that's a pretty common thing, like not prison itself, but just in jail if you're arrested for the weekend or whatever, to try to,
Oh yeah.
you know, show that you're upset. They fill the toilet full of toilet paper and poop on top of it, so it stinks everything up in there. So
Yeah.
terrible.
Terrible, terrible people. It's not why they're in jail, is it?
I don't know, but they should
Okay.
pro- probably have to stay longer for that.
Okay, question number 1 or number 2,
Okay.
or whatever order we're in.
Okay. So if you could make a movie with
Mhm,
anyone,
mhm.
who would it be and why?
I would probably say I'd have to give 2. I'd have to say 2 people. I'd have to say, ooh, shoot, this is a hard one. I have 3. Can I give you 3?
Sure.
Okay. Denzel Washington.
That's a good guy.
He is so seasoned, such a seasoned
Hmm.
actor, such a sage individual. He's extremely smart. He has a degree in biological science, for one thing. He's insanely smart. Just a kind person, and he's such a good actor. He can play any role, and
He
I just
is. Yeah.
yeah, I just think to be able to act with somebody who can like who knows where you're going and knows where they're going and can tie it all together, that would be such a like a fabulous experience. So I'd pick him for sure. Next on my list would be Tom Hardy because he can just he just has a very natural way about him. He can pick up any role and just it. He never seems like he's acting. He
Hmm.
never seems like he's acting. Even in so he made a movie called The Dropbox. It wasn't a fabulous movie. It wasn't a great storyline, and he played a character that I think if anybody else had played it, um, it would have looked really, really basic and low key. But he took that role and he just played it off so well that it was just so natural. Like that's just an art to do that. So I
Hmm.
think, yeah, Tom Hardy for sure. And he's also in one of my favorite movies, Legend. I actually watched it today, so that was good. And the third, probably Barry Pepper. I know it's not like a mainstream name. Probably people don't really know who Barry Pepper is, but he's in a lot of the war movies. He usually plays a soldier in a lot of the historical movies or war movies. He's been in a couple music videos, but he reminds me of my papa. He looks very familiar to me, and so I would just love the opportunity to like act or do something with him in a movie. That would be kind of cool. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. So the next two questions are going to be to stay on the bowel movement poop topic. So
Yeah.
tell me the strangest place you pooped or the weirdest place you pooped, something along that line. Or maybe a time where it was like you didn't want to go there, but you had no other option, something like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I was driving through Alberta, um, and there's not a lot of, there's a long stretch of road before you see anything. And I had to go so bad. And finally, the only thing that came up was like a gas station. Oh my God. It was the grossest place I have ever been to. It was so dirty. Like it was so dirty that even the paper towel that you grab the handle, even the paper towel was like suspect. You're like, did somebody just use this and put it back? Like,
It's
was this
reuse.
like the recycling program here? Like, it was
Yeah.
like it was so gross. And I like it was the first time I think I was shaking when I hovered over the toilet to poop because I was
I've
like,
got like this
please, dear
mental
God, don't let
picture
me
in my
touch
head from
anything.
it.
What's
Yeah.
that?
I've got like a mental picture in my head of this place from the way you're describing it. And, it's really sketchy. There's like nothing else around. It's only got maybe one or two lights in the whole lot. There's potholes everywhere. The bathroom's not even connected to the inside of the building. They hand it to you on a car tire to go unlock it. There's
Exactly.
cockroaches in there when you turn on the light, that sort of thing.
Oh, it was, and the only thing that I could think of when I was finished was, please God, let there be soap in the dispenser.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think that was the day I would have died, really. Like my soul would have like diminished if there was like no soap in
Yeah.
the dispenser. Luckily there was, but yeah,
In
that was
places like that, like when you're in those kind of like really nasty gas stations,
uh-huh.
you can take like the nastiest dump, like you've been sick for a week, you probably should be out in public sort of thing.
Mhm.
You're not washing your hands just because you went to the bathroom. You're washing your hands because you were in that place. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah. You'd rather shit on your hand and then walk
Yeah,
away than like
yeah. I'm like, I know this came from me, but this other stuff right here, nah, I don't know.
one hundo.
So I guess the last question: um, have you ever shit yourself or sharded yourself in a public space?
Oh my God. Um, Not in a public space, but I remember one time I was a kid and I had oh, I had food poisoning.
Oh,
And oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had food poisoning and I was so sick that I was lying on my mom's bed and I had to fart and I farted and it was like
Oh,
so hot.
yeah. Why is this part wet?
And then my mom's like, um, she could see like the brown circle in my undies.
Oh
She
man.
was like, think you might want to go sit on the toilet.
You may want to go take a shower.
I mean, as a child, I was mortified.
I bet. Yeah.
Mortified. Yeah. Yeah. Needless to say, those went in the garbage. We didn't even attempt to throw those in the wash.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh my
had
god.
something like that happen to me. Gosh, it was like me when me and my wife first were dating. She had went to Olive Garden with some of her friends, and she came back and she's like, "Hey, I've got some leftovers," and I was at home hanging out with the dogs or something.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, okay, cool. Did you bring home any of the salad? Because Olive Garden's got like really good salad.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, yeah, she did. So didn't realize that it pretty much sat out in the car for like hours, in the heat. I I ate that stuff and it was like I had pooped myself, but it wasn't even like poop. It was just like this gray clear gelatin that just like dropped out. Kind of like trying to think of something that's like close to. I don't know, but it was weird, and it just like dropped out like a big snotty blob, and I was like, oh
Oh
my
my
god,
god.
So I took my clothes off and took them downstairs, set them next to the washer, fully intending to wash and dry this stuff before she comes home because we're still pretty young in this relationship, and don't want her to see this kind of stuff. So I took a shower, got redressed, and completely forgot all about that stuff until she went downstairs to go do the laundry. And here's my weird alien diarrhea, in my smiley face boxers. And she's like, "Did you shit yourself today?" And I was like, "No."
Rot-row roars.
Yeah, but it was her fault. So
But it was
she
her.
fed me. She fed me or at least offered the spoiled Olive Garden to me. So
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. Did she think it was her fault too? Did she
I don't
claim
know if
it?
she thought it was her. I don't know that she really
Yeah.
really thought that much about it, but it comes up in conversation from time to time. So she'd be like, "Well, you shit yourself when we were first dating." It's like you tried to poison me.
He tried
So
to poison me. Oh, with a hot salad.
yeah, it was still good.
Let's play a little game of Would You Ever Let a Friend? And I'm excited to play this game because I've never played this one before in the show. I have no idea what you're going to come up with. Um, but shall I start?
Sure.
Would you ever let a friend wipe your butt?
No, yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't bother me. Wouldn't bother me at all.
Would you ever let a friend shake your hand without washing them after being in the bathroom?
Is my hand? Am I the one that came out of the bathroom or them?
No, your friend just used the bathroom and didn't wash their hands.
No, 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 no. I'm weird. As gross of a person as I may be, like I'm weird about that kind of stuff. When people come out of the bathroom, they don't wash their hands. And of course, I'll tell the girls all the time, wash your hands, wash your hands. They'll be
Yeah,
like, I just peed or something. It's like I don't know. It's just weird.
it counts.
Like when we were growing up, you always had to wash your hands, like anytime you went in the bathroom. So
Mhm.
like I feel like if I even go in there to like grab a Q-tip, it's like, oh, I need to go ahead and wash my hands while I'm in here too.
One hundo, I agree fully. Um, Last but not least, would you ever let a friend nickname your penis and refer to you by that name for an entire year?
You know, I guess I would say yes. I'm just kind of wondering the situation, like how this came about. Like, who is this friend? Why did why did they see it and decide to nickname it, and why did they choose the nickname they did? So there's some factors in there that I'm really kind of curious about, but yeah, I guess I could probably go with that.
It's like a trifecta of questions, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that could be just a pretty innocent thing, or that could be pretty involved.
Mm.
Like a weird, wild weekend just to you slipped and fell in the urinal and everyone started calling you piss stick after that or something. So there's
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm ready.
okay.
Okay.
So I have a weird thing about, not so much now, but when I was growing up, about milk products.
Mm.
Like uh I couldn't even like eat a piece of cheese if someone else was in the same room. I just thought it was weird.
What?
So like and drinking milk is kind
Oh,
of taboo for a lot of people, like drinking out of the milk jug.
yeah.
So would you ever let a friend just open up your fridge and drink the milk straight out of the milk jug and put it back in?
Um, well, I'm vegan, so it would be probably like an almond milk or something that would be in the fridge, but
Hmm.
let's just go with that. Um, um, a friend. When you say a friend, like, are we talking about like a best friend or like a partner?
See, it would just have to be a friend, because I think
A
when
friend.
the
Okay, because
partner,
my partner,
yeah,
I would for sure, totally.
yeah,
I probably would have had my mouth on things of theirs, so I don't think that that would matter.
yeah, that's I agree with you on that. I mean, yeah.
But
So we'll just go with just a friend, like whoever comes over, like
um,
Mary or Mike or something. They're like,
yeah,
hey,
a
and they just
friend.
they open the fridge, chug it, and put it back, and you're like,
Yeah, I'd have to say no on that one. Yeah, I'd have to say
okay,
no on that one. That'd be a
yeah,
little bit gross. Yeah, yeah, a little bit gross.
okay, yeah, me too. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay. Would
You thought I was gonna say yes? You're getting stressed.
I know.
Note to self:
It's
never
just,
have Jenny over
yeah.
to our house.
If they're ever over, hide the milk. So the next one, would you ever let a friend stay the night at your house while your significant other's there and you're not? So whatever happened, like maybe you were planning a girls' weekend or something, and then some emergency happened. Would you ever just let them stay the night at your house with your significant other and you're gone?
Another guy? Yes. Another woman? No. No.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you on that too, but
Yeah.
it'd be the flip side of it for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm,
If it was
yeah,
a guy friend, for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, it probably be but still would be a little awkward because you know. But I don't know. But another woman, no, no. Yeah.
okay.
And I wouldn't really want my partner to think that that was okay too. Like I wouldn't want to stay at my guy's friend's house
Mm,
without my partner. You know.
right.
So it goes
It
both
just,
ways.
yeah,
Yeah.
just seems like it kind of sets up a sketchy situation.
Well, yeah, and I just don't think you just don't play with fire because even if nothing happens, your human
Yeah,
nature, your mind is going to go, well, I have a question. And then once you start the
yeah,
questions,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
fucked. Right?
yeah.
So just don't even play with fire. Yeah.
So the last question would be, would you ever let a friend borrow a pair of underwear of yours and a toothbrush of yours? Now, this is saying like they're staying over at your house or whatever, they just bring a toothbrush and they're like, oh, I'll just use yours. Or, they're like, we didn't bring a change of clothes. I'm just going to put on your underwear.
Ooh. Um, tooth- toothbrush, definitely not. If I had a clean, unworn pair of underwear in the drawer, they could wear it and they could keep it.
Mhm.
Like if it's like a brand new pair and they were desperate, they could wear it and they could keep it. But um, otherwise, no, no, definitely not the toothbrush thing. The toothbrush.
Yeah.
I think that I wouldn't even let my partner use my tooth. I wouldn't even use my partner's tooth. That's just gross, grody.
I don't know.
Hello.
I've definitely, my daughter, I've definitely used my wife's toothbrush before. I can't really say that I've ever.
Sorry.
I can't say that I've ever wore her underwear before though,
Because that
but
would be
maybe I
awkward.
have. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my god. I love it. I love it. Great questions. Great questions. Rumor has it, sir, you have a tip of the day.
I do.
Hmm.
And it's pretty simple and it's just be weird. Just,
Yeah, I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
I love
Just too
that.
many straight laced normal people, walking around. Don't be that guy. Just be weird.
I love it. Just be uniquely you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Zach, this has been a fabulous show. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a
Yeah.
bucket of fun. I've laughed more than I have in a while, which is great.
Me too. I'm glad that you reached out and we got to do this again. So maybe we can do it again in the future. So it was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do it.
Absolutely. 100. Tell people where they can find you on social media.
So right now, just take a look for me on TikTok,
Hmm.
um, add a bunch of poop.
Hmm.
If you have MTV or Prime or something like that, and you look up on Ridiculousness, you can see episode that just recently aired in May. I think
Hmm.
it was very early May, but I wish I had the season number for you right now on that one. But um, I was on there, so
Nice.
look me up. A bunch of poop.
A bunch of poop. I love it. We want to remind people to like, share, comment, subscribe, follow. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, all over the audio platforms, and on YouTube as well to watch. Thanks so much again for joining me, Zach. And oh, hey, before I forget, tell Josh I said hi.
All right, hey Josh, pleasure talking to you.
Thanks so much for joining me, Zach. Have an amazing week.
You too. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.